Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Manuel. There were reports of multiple gunshots in Elmira within 24 hours and a car chase. Our Maggie Hall has more on the investigations.
It was here in the area of West 1st Street and Davis Street where two shootings happened at the same residence in one day. These two instances were part of three that happened in Elmira in less than 24 hours. The next day, officers were dispatched again to an area near Davis and West 4th Street for more shots fired. Lieutenant Yuri Charlenow told me he has no idea why there are so many shootings happening near Davis Street. No injuries were reported from any of these incidents. While the investigation of these increased shootings is still ongoing, Lieutenant Yuri shared a theory with me.
No, I have no reason. I have no idea why they're increasing. We've had our shootings, they always come in, in groups. They tend to come in groups, and they're usually people going back and forth over some issue or another.
And now we're back to Davis Street in the area of West Washington Avenue. It was here that an Elmira police officer pulled over a car for traffic violations. This car and its suspects would lead the officer on a high-speed chase around the city of Elmira. In this car were Deontay Henry, the driver Sky Volkhausen, and a 14-year-old juvenile. Officers discontinued the chase. The suspect's car later on was found wrapped around a telephone pole. One suspect was launched from the vehicle and currently is in critical condition. A search of the car resulted in officers confiscating a loaded semi-automatic handgun. I reached out to Elmira Mayor Daniel Mandel's office for a comment on these incidents, but received no response. All of these investigations are ongoing. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the Elmira Police Department at 607-737-5626. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Elmira.
We're learning more about what may have sent Bills player Damar Hamlin into cardiac arrest following a tackle in Monday night's game. Stephen Goen has more from Cincinnati.
Damar Hamlin still in critical condition. The Buffalo Bills safety was hospitalized on Monday night after collapsing on the field here in Cincinnati. It was later revealed he suffered a cardiac arrest, which some doctors say could have been caused by a tackle he made moments before passing out.
We see this a lot with what we call blunt force trauma to the chest. We see it in baseball as well when a pitcher, for example, is struck right in the chest with a fast shooting ball. They collapse within seconds.
The stadium came to a standstill after Hamlin collapsed early in the first quarter. CPR performed within just a few minutes, likely saving his life. The Hamlin family says he's fighting, writing in part, quote, "We want to express our sincere gratitude for the love and support shown to Damar during this challenging time."
There's an effort to preserve his neurologic function. Oftentimes these patients are actively cooled. That means that they're put into a coma and the core temperature is dropped.
NFL executives decided to postpone the game after consulting with both teams, saying, quote, "It was obvious on the phone with them that the emotions were extremely high. It was a very volatile situation." Anxious NFL fans now watching, waiting, and praying for good news.
There's not much you can do. You just sit there, hope, and pray that it gets better.
And some of Hamlin's fans are showing their support through donations, raising more than $3.6 million for his holiday toy drive since Monday. In Cincinnati, Stephen Goen, Fox News.
A diaper and menstrual product giveaway will be happening in Elmira this month, and they're looking for donations. The Greater Elmira Corning Junior League organizing this giveaway. The giveaway will be held from 4 to 7 p.m. on January 9th at Family Services of Chemung County. That's located at 1019 East Water Street. Donation boxes can be found at the grocery chain Jubilee. The giveaway doesn't require any registration. Items will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. A Pennsylvania police chief is shot and killed. It happened in Brackenridge Monday. The suspect, Aaron Swan, was wanted for probation violation. Officers found Swan and then chased him. Gunshots were exchanged, killing one officer and wounding another in the leg. The suspect was also shot and killed. A $2 million Powerball ticket was sold in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania Lottery announcing on New Year's Day that the ticket was sold for the Saturday Powerball. The winner started their new year as a millionaire. They were able to match 5 numbers, missing the Powerball, but had power play, according to sources. A battle on the House floor with Republicans trying to elect the next speaker. After 3 tries failed, Republicans decided they'll try again tomorrow. Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
A chaotic start for the 118th Congress, now with Republicans in charge in the House, but the party is split on who should lead them.
A speaker has not been elected.
For the first time in a century, a vote for House Speaker was not decided on the first or even second ballot. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy received a large number of Republican votes, but with such a slim majority, there were just not enough members to elect him on the first attempt. Andy Biggs of Arizona challenged him for the post, and Ohio's Jim Jordan was nominated for the second round, despite his support for McCarthy.
Well, sometimes we have to do jobs that we don't really want to do. And sometimes we have to do jobs that we are called to do.
McCarthy's opponents argue he is part of the establishment and doesn't have an aggressive enough approach to take on congressional Democrats.
How are we going to fix this if we keep doing the same things and getting the same outcomes?
In the lead up to Tuesday's vote, McCarthy offered his GOP critics concessions, including making it easier for members to remove him from his position.
There's times we're going to have to argue with our own members if they're looking at for only positions for themselves, not for the country.
For now, Democrats are content to watch their counterparts battle it out on the House floor, with Hakeem Jeffries gearing up to become minority leader.
Certainly from the Democrats' perspective, it's get out the popcorn.
Until a speaker is chosen, House members will have to wait to be sworn in. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
The man charged in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students appears in court, and investigators are now trying to piece together a motive. Alexis McAdams has the story.
This afternoon, the suspected Idaho killer wearing an orange jumpsuit and shackles walks into this Pennsylvania courthouse. It's the first time we've seen him in person. Bryan Kohberger waived his extradition, so he will be taken by U.S. Marshals back to Idaho. There, he faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and a felony burglary charge. The 28-year-old arrested Friday in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. Sources tell me investigators linked him to the killings by matching crime scene DNA with a sample that had been sent by one of his family members to a genealogy website.
Tactical assets were then staged in the county, in Monroe County, into the evening of Thursday, December 29th, last Thursday. And in the early hours of Friday, December 30th, those warrants were executed at the location. Mr. Kohberger was taken into custody without incident.
Kohberger's attorney says his client is eager to be cleared of these charges.
They've already stopped the Idaho police from tearing down the crime scene so that they could have their own experts come in.
Investigators now working to learn more about the suspect. Kohberger was a student at Washington State. He was studying to get his PhD in criminal justice and criminology. The university is only about a 10-minute drive from the murder scene. Then, over Christmas break, investigators say Kohberger drove with his dad back to Pennsylvania in that white Hyundai Elantra that detectives had been searching for. They were stopped by state troopers twice in Indiana for minor traffic offenses, but didn't get a ticket. Once Kohberger leaves Pennsylvania, the U.S. Marshals will take him back to Moscow, Idaho, and that's when we'll learn those new details about the murders. Reporting in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, I'm Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
Stay with us. We have your full forecast ahead.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
As we quickly stepped into our Tuesday, we were underneath some of this rainy weather, and we'll continue to talk about some active weather. However, when it comes to impacts, they are looking fairly minimal. Now, we are looking to head into a drier period, but note that we will step back into some rainy conditions as we head into Wednesday afternoon. So note that the commute out the door, you may not need the umbrella, but you may want to bring it, as we will enter back into some of those more moderate rain showers into Wednesday afternoon. We'll again work our way into a drier pocket as we head through Thursday, and then from Friday Friday into Saturday, there will be some hit or miss rain to even snowfall possible, as we are going to see some cooling as we step into the weekend that is going to bring us back to more seasonal conditions. So a little bit of an active weather pattern, but again, nothing looking widespread, impactful when it comes to the concerns when it comes to rain or even that snow by the end of the week. So as we start off Wednesday morning, generally looking pretty quiet, maybe a hit or miss sprinkle possible there, as we'll see that the weak system is continuing to shift north. Here's some more of those moderate showers in places we step through the afternoon and into the evening, even overnight. Still some showers lingering before Thursday does turn to again another quiet day. May even see some filtered sunshine try to work its way back into the forecast. So with today's totals as well as what we're expecting through our Wednesday, we'll see that anywhere from at least about 3/4 of an inch, upwards of 1.5 inches is in place. So we're looking at some decent snow or rainfall totals in the end. When it comes to snowfall totals, it's looking pretty minimal overall. We'll keep an eye on that extended forecast as we're not seeing any snow here through the near future, which this precipitation forecast keeps us through about 7 p.m. on Thursday. Temperature-wise, we'll also stay mild here. We still have a few more days into those 50s. We got 56 on the board again for Elmira and Corning, 52 in Wayland, Westfield even up to 57 degrees. So we're flirting with that 60-degree threshold. Again, well above average, near record-breaking in place. We'll start that pullback in the temperatures as we head towards that Thursday forecast. We start to see more widespread 40s on the board. However, again, some sunshine may be on the map there for Thursday, so a little filter of some changes in that forecast in place as we look at a high of about 48 in Elmira, 47 Corning, Westfield 45 degrees, Bath around 45. So still more than 10 degrees above average. This still would be a pretty mild December, now January forecast that we have in place as we've been talking about mild conditions. But we will look at that extended forecast to start to show those changes. Again, hit or miss potential possible there Friday and Saturday. Accumulation looking very, very minimal. But with those dropping temperatures, even as you notice, we drop below that freezing mark Saturday morning, might see some slick surfaces in place. But overall accumulation-wise with these weak disturbances, again, minimal. Starting to get those temperatures closer to average there on Saturday. We'll see that shower chances Saturday will be later into the afternoon. And then we'll have a bit of some drier weather to move in with the seasonal temperatures. But overall, the active and moving pattern looks to be quickly returning on Tuesday.
Investors kick off the new year following the worst 12 months for stocks since 2008. The TikTok ban debate moves from Washington to Main Street, and Tesla misses its delivery target, and how adopting cute kittens, well, they can score you free flights. CJ Papa has all of that in today's Business Briefs.
Wall Street kicks off trading in the new year. The world's major stock markets are coming off last year's big declines. Traders continue to fret over what further actions the Federal Reserve might take to cool decades-high inflation. Forecasters are expecting job gains to weaken in December. Traders are hoping that could encourage the Fed to scale back its plans for more rate hikes. The move to ban TikTok has migrated from the federal to the local level. The Rapid City, South Dakota City Council is set to consider banning it from municipal devices and networks. The effort is being led by a councilman who calls TikTok a security threat. Even though Tesla sold 1.3 million EVs last year, the number fell short of Elon Musk's pledge to grow the company's sales by 50% nearly every year. The company surpassed the record 936,000 vehicles sold in 2021, but that number is far shy of the 1.4 million needed to reach that 50% growth target. And Frontier Airlines giving away vouchers for free flights to those that adopt a kitten. 3 kittens named Delta, Frontier, and Spirit are up for adoption at a Nevada-based animal shelter. Frontier is offering 2 vouchers for those who adopt Spirit and Delta, and 4 for Frontier. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
Shelters in the U.S. border towns are overwhelmed with an influx of migrants with no end in sight. The shelters are taking in as many as possible, but as we start the new year in places like El Paso, hundreds are living on the street due to the lack of space. Madison Scarpino has more on this near the border in El Paso.
Rescue Mission of El Paso is still taking people in, but they are reaching their limit. They used to hold around 100 people, but now over the last few months, they're housing up to 300 people, and it's putting a strain on resources. There are migrants of all ages in these shelters. The youngest here is just a few days old. The shelter's CEO, Blake Barrow, says they opened up a new space around 10 days ago to hold all of the migrants in need. Barrow says they aren't turning anyone away for now, but the reality is there are still hundreds of migrants living on El Paso's streets. Barrow says oftentimes families will get separated on their journey to the U.S. and want to wait on the streets instead of going to a shelter. Barrow says these migrants all came over to be able to support their families.
We can do what we can to help a person in need that's standing in front of us, but the real answer is what can we do to make Central America a place that you're willing to live in your own country. Now, when you have governments in places like Nicaragua and Venezuela, that's a whole lot easier said than done.
Migrants I spoke to say back in their country, they are scared for their lives. Just over the weekend across the border from here in Juarez, Mexico, only about 2 miles away, 14 people were killed when a gunman attacked a state prison. The journey to the U.S. for these people was treacherous, and Barrow says he's heard countless of heartbreaking stories like people getting robbed and family members getting murdered on their way to the U.S. So far, the shelter has yet to receive federal funding, and everything comes from private donations, but they're hoping to receive federal reimbursement soon as they're working with the county, who is applying for FEMA assistance. In El Paso, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
Still ahead, a bar in Milwaukee serves non-alcoholic drinks to customers. The restaurant has several drink options like mocktails and other non-alcoholic spirits. More on the Dry January trend coming up. A bar in Milwaukee serving non-alcoholic drinks to customers. The restaurant has several drink options like mocktails and other non-alcoholic spirits.
At 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee, you don't have to drink booze to belly up to the bar.
Mocktails are no longer just juices and pop or seltzer waters.
From mocktails to non-alcoholic beers, more sober options are available, making it more welcoming for people who choose to ditch the booze.
I think that more people are reflecting and taking a little break as they kind of recalibrate and really begin the new chapter in their upcoming year.
It's a trend that's been growing each year. More people are participating in Dry January. For 31 days, they're choosing to abstain from alcohol. Eric Kennedy has been sober for more than 7 years and has helped inspire some of the non-alcoholic drink choices at the Market Hall.
Surround yourself with a support system.
A new study shows even just 1 month alcohol-free has a lasting impact. People had better sleep, less anxiety, and more energy. They saw significant improvements in metabolic health, even without changes to diet or exercise.
It's been the best life decision for me.
For Kennedy, it's a life change, encouraging others to do it for as long as it feels right.
Take it one day at a time.
Luxury gym Equinox facing major backlash after their new campaign called We Don't Speak January. It bans new members from signing up for their gyms on January 1st. They didn't want people coming to their gyms just to fulfill their New Year's resolutions that they'll probably give up on in a few weeks. The public was quick to respond and react on social media with feedback on the campaign. Some Twitter users praised the company for its on-brand marketing. Others shamed its exclusionary messaging. A new survey reveals how much Gen Z needs to make to feel financially healthy. Gen Zs are those born between 1997 and 2012, 10 to 25 years old. The number they need to feel good, $171,000 to $633,000. Gen Zs think they need the most money, followed by millennials who say they need $133,000. Gen X says $112,000, and baby boomers, well, they say they need $78,000. New transparency requirements in healthcare can help you calculate some possible future expenses now. A report says health insurers and employers offering health plans are now required to provide online calculators for estimates on some out-of-pocket costs. The estimates would include costs like deductibles and co-payments for services and medicine. Patients can log on, search for care by billing code or description, and get real-time estimates. About 500 non-emergency services would be included. The requirement comes under the Transparency in Coverage Rule of 2020. Well, the gifts that keep on giving sometimes keep on getting exchanged too. As it's projected, a whopping amount of Christmas gifts will be returned. The National Retail Federation says Americans will send back about $158 billion in gifts that just weren't quite right this Christmas season. That's about 18% of all merchandise sold. New return rules may apply, though. There may be fees for items shipped back, and there could be shorter return timelines. Returning directly to the store rather than mailing may save restocking or shipping fees. Consumers can find return policies printed on the back of most receipts or on store websites. Stay with us. We've got more after the break. And we want to leave you with a smile. How about this? SpaceX launches its first mission of 2023. It was a picture-perfect liftoff this morning for the Falcon 9 Transporter 6 rideshare mission from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Following stage separation, Falcon 9 successfully returned to the Space Force Station about 8 minutes after the launch. SpaceX says over 100 payloads are on the flight, including CubeSats, other smaller satellites, and orbital transfer vehicles. The rideshare program will allow the satellites to be sent into orbit at a lower cost option for private companies and public institutions. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching.